What are you excited to hear about in AAIC 2026 in London? What do you hope that was the things that you think are on the cusp of being released and that, cutting edge research that is it's coming through and it's coming out soon. What are you hoping that's going to be we're going to be talking about next year at this time?
So I may cheat a little bit. There's another conference called the Clinical Trials for Alzheimer's Disease Conference, or CTAD, which happens in December. And
Okay.
I'm really excited for that conference because the semaglutide data is going to be released. And I think
Oh,
that is also going to be game changing. So that one is, I mean, I can't wait to see what happens there. And so I think that one's really exciting. I think at AIC, the unique thing about AIC and what's different about AIC is that it's so much broader. Not only is it our largest conference, but it's broad. So there are tracks for everything. There's tracks for clinicians and for blood people and for proteomics people and for mice people and for in vitro people, like you name it, public health and advocacy. And so I'm really excited next year because I think we're going to see some results of some of these implementation studies. There's several organizations, including the Davos Alzheimer's Collaborative, which I work very closely with, who've been running implementation science studies to understand what are the barriers to why these clinically ready innovations, like digital cognitive assessments and blood tests, aren't getting used. And I'm really excited to see the results of those studies because I think it's a new discipline that we haven't had the blessing of being able to use because we didn't have clinically ready innovation until the last, 3 to 5 years. And so now we're going to put those innovations in health systems and we're going to look in a real world setting as to what are those barriers. And I'm really excited to see that because this field is a collaborative field, as I mentioned. We will rally together to sort out how to fix the problems, especially when we find barriers that are product agnostic. In healthcare system transformation, the data shows it takes 17 to 20 years for a new innovation to become standard of care.
wow.
This is a progressive neuropathological disease. We do not have 17 to 20 years to wait. So I'm excited to see the results of those implementation science studies and then be able to see the field grab a hold of some of those nuggets and go fix them. Because honestly, this field, the Alzheimer's community will do it. We'll work together and we'll solve those problems together. But we've got to have kind of that evidence basis to be able to go do it. And I think we should have that for AIC next year.
Outstanding. Well, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to connect and sharing your experience at AAIC and your thoughts about the field and the community as a whole. And I have one final question for you, which is if somebody has an additional question for you,
Oh,
how can
sure.
they find you on LinkedIn or email? What's their preferred way for somebody to be able to reach out to you?
Yeah, LinkedIn is great. I'm on there a lot. It's at Phil Ferrell. And I'm also on X, but probably LinkedIn is easier to DM. And so that's a great place to find me. It's also a great place to follow along on some of these activities I like to do. I'm pretty active poster there. So it's a good place to find whether there's challenges that I find out about or conferences, opportunities. So if you're trying to learn more about the space, follow me there.
Outstanding. Well, thank you again for connecting. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.